How are you hooked up? We're on a show. We've started.
All right.
The button I see that's active now is in broadcast. That'd probably be a good idea right about now, but we'll go for a while. Oh, I better mute myself. There we go. That'll help. Um, so, what are you working on there? I see something.
Oh, I had us playing in the background. That's why I heard myself double.
Yes, yeah. You have to kind of mute your YouTube delayed
Uh,
self.
I'm just goofing around. Did you get a chance to check out Blood Diner? I know you saw the trailer, but that trailer really does not do the film justice. And I
Is
wanted
it?
your opinion
Is
on
it?
whether or not. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Is it comic mostly?
That's what I wanted your opinion on. I've tried to figure this out for years. Is it an inept filmmaker that has no idea? Because the person did it is not American, it's not English, can't really articulate really well in this language. And her name is Jackie Kong.
Hmm.
And I don't know if she's trying to be dead serious or her lack of understanding of sort of the construct of the language is so off that it's hilarious. So
Well,
I
is it?
don't know.
Well, I'm curious. Have you ever seen The Undertaker and his pals?
Yes, I have. Oh, I love it. Yeah,
Well,
it's a great one.
it looked like to me they were thinking of that movie, but you say the guy or whoever directed it is a foreign guy, huh? So
It's
he wouldn't
actually a
know my
woman.
little cult films influences.
Well, actually, the script that was floating around was a sequel to Herschel
Herschel
Gordon
Gordon.
Lewis's, yeah, Blood Feast.
Oh, okay. Well, so that is what he considers his big influence on it. Okay, I can see that. I'm not sure what came first, Blood Feast or Undertaker and his pals. Actually, those came out. Those kind of packages were hitting pretty much simultaneously. That would be a typical drive-in movie triple bill. As a matter of fact, come think of it. No, I probably didn't. What did I see Undertaker and his pals with? Oh, I remember the one about the cat food driving uh, the cats crazy because they had used human beings in it. It was corpse grinders, corpse grinders. It was a Ted V. Mickles uh, movie, and
I thought you were talking about Soylent Green for a second.
yeah, no, they had some lazy mortuary guys saying, "Hey, all this meat, let's not let it go to waste." And before you know it, you had rabid cats all over the place.
What fascinates me so much about film in the good days, as I like to call them, is that if a film wasn't doing particular well, they would just switch towns and change the name completely.
Yeah. That Psychotronic Encyclopedia film is just chock full of movies that change their name.
I mean, Corman was the master of that, I think. I mean, you would know better than me, but I know Death Race 2000 went under quite a few different names before it
Oh,
really
really?
hit.
That's interesting. I don't. Yeah, Corman. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm just now watching. I better check on Scott here. Might need to be added. Nope, don't see him yet.
So,
But I'm watching Machine Gun Kelly with Charles Bronson and another actress that was in Wasp Woman. She's a pretty big regular of Corman's, and I couldn't get over just how much fun the dumb movie is. It's
what's your favorite Bronson movie?
my favorite Bronson movie. Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, you could say something a biggie like The Great Escape or something, just because he's in it.
Yeah,
But I think probably the most iconic one I think associating with is Hard Times.
yeah.
He just so made for that particular role.
I love the
Is-
mechanic.
Oh yeah, the mechanic is awful good for what it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good old Jan Michael Vincent in there. And
Actually, yeah, that's one of my screenings offered, and I need to check that out at some point. I remember the director. I think is a guy that really doesn't get people or something like that. Is it Michael Winter or something like that?
yeah.
And,
Yep.
and he just goes with it anyway. You know, he's just not a guy that's going to get a real person in his films. I think he also did. What else do you do? Well, he gets a lot of bad press. You know.
I think he did Death Wish, didn't he? Or no?
Let me check Michael Winter real quick. Why not go online and let's know this stuff. Michael Winter. Michael. I spelled it wrong. How about that? See what all he did. Death Wish. You're right, Michael Winter. And that's that's kind of what I'm talking about, though. I don't consider Death Wish a great.
No,
It doesn't feel like they're real people.
It doesn't.
The Sentinel is another one, and the Big Sleep, his Mitchum version of the Big Sleep. I guess he got hooked up with Bronson on the Stone Killer. I remember that one.
The funniest thing to me about
Death
Wish
actually. Go ahead.
Is Jeff Goldblum playing a rapist.
Oh yeah, boy.
And I'm like, when I went back and watched it, I'm like, what? This is just so about, you were talking about him not understanding people.
Yeah.
I don't think he understood his audience or his actors.
Yeah.
That's why I think maybe Bronson was so good for him, because he was so limited in.
Yeah, maybe so.
Did.
Maybe so. That is a good note about someone that realizes that Bronson isn't going to give you a lot of empathy or not so much empathy. He can do that.
Yeah.
But like this Corman film, for instance, is calling on Bronson to laugh like an idiot pretty often.
Yeah.
He doesn't do well, and so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine Bronson laughing hysterically. It seems, I'll have to see it.
He's got a good smile and all that, and his face breaks up in a very charismatic looking way. You see him use that talent every now and then.
Yeah, it's a smirk.
Sure he'll grin at you a little bit, and it'll be like, hey, he's a funny looking guy. I'd drink a beer with that guy. That's the other thing. I think he just barely smiles. In hard times. He, every now and then will grace. Oh yeah, and when he shoots up the bar in the bayou, he kind of has a smile as he puts the last shot through the mirror.
Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen it. I don't know why I'm asking this, but how did you like his performance in the Twilight Zone with the Bewitched?
Yeah, that's a famous one. Yeah, they're the last. Oh no, that's kind of like a prelim before Soldier by Ellison, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't by Ellison, but it was much like it. They were fighting each other. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
yeah.
She was beautiful back in the day. Was it Barbara? What was her name? Barbie. That wasn't Barbie Eden. That's Jeannie, right?
Yeah. It's Elizabeth Montgomery.
Yeah.
She also played as the girl who gave her mother 40 whacks and then gave her
Lizzie Borden.
41. Yeah.
I know Scott had jury duty, and I saw
there he is. He's showing up. Device is not connected, though. He always has. His battery may die. We'll have to see if we get Scott or not. I can see him making the effort.
Hope he makes it in.
Yeah, me too.
interested on his book that he's been working on.
Yeah,
Doug has, I'm sure you know this, but Doug has jury duty also.
Oh, yeah, I heard him complaining about that. I was actually on the show.
He was talking about just go ahead and flip a coin, he said.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take.
He's got these two identical twins I've been on the last two times I've been on. And they,
they're like fun.
They're hard to talk over the top of. And which is fine, you know. I don't need to say anything, but I was just going to tell him he could dodge that if he, you know. All you have to do on jury duty is to, you know, when they have the voir dire process where they're screening. That's all it means is they're screening, and they'll ask you how you feel about lawsuits and stuff like that. Well, that's the deal. Doug's may be criminal, so I may be off on that. So if it's a lawsuit, though, all you have to do is say, well, I've been sued, kind of marked me or whatever, you know, and you're out. You're done. You know, they'll say, no, it's not acceptable.
Well, see, I've done that before. I've gotten out actually a few times because I don't care. But I think Doug, you know, sees it as it's a moralistic thing with him. I think he does care.
Well, and Scott felt the same way. You know, it is basically part of what we're paying our money for. It's like,
That's
you
true.
know, you got to do your part and not be
not one out of it.
But I want it instantly out of anything like that.
How's the comic?
Oh, my comic was going right along, and then I stopped on it for whatever reason. I'll get right back to it. Right now, I'm about to try a new discipline that involves every Sunday. This is my new rule for myself. Every Sunday will be oil painting day. Which,
fantastic.
Yeah, because I need to go ahead and do that. I'm constantly thinking about it. And I've got all these tools laying around that I never use. And
will this be on the show? Will this be on the show?
Well, it'd be kind of hard to paint the way I'm set up on the show, but maybe I will do some sort of making of or do some process or something like that. I have been doing process shares on Twitter of the paint into it that I've been doing with the iPad to prep for it, because I've got this old painting that's really pretty lame, and I have to punch it up, and so I could try to sketch on the actual painting. But I thought, well, no, I need to really study this and see what will improve it. So I just painted into it digitally.
Well, I saw you posted something. It was a digital piece with a motorcycle and a robot.
That's it. I've got here. I'll just go get it here real quick. I'll be right back. Just draw or talk, whatever. You can see by this size of this thing, this is no bigger than a sheet of paper. There we go. As a matter of fact, it's smaller than an 8.5 by 11. It says on the back 8 by 10. And so this is the original painting.
Oh, wow.
And you can see all the texture and all that. But it was me getting kind of disgusted with adding this small. I need to get one of my little Lang nickels, which is almost like little Winsor Newtons that still let you work with oil. And so I'm going to cover up all that stuff. I've got to repaint the motorcycle. I got to turn this into a compositionally cool thing where he's right at the very edge of something that's thrusting into the picture. I'm changing this arm into an arm that's reaching out to about here. And changing everything. The whole mountainscape behind it is, I thought this was a great compositional idea at first for leading the eye, but it's also a little boring. So I'm going to change that out entirely.
That's awesome. I love that piece.
Yeah, this guy, I've got enough scans of this at this point. I gotta draw his Thompson, but I've got Yeah, what will stay here? No, the robot, the big mass of him and the big mass of the cop will be there, and his posture will be there. I'm going to eliminate that arm and have it coming out the other side of his body. It's, the digital thing was probably a good idea for before I tear into it again. I'll know where I'm going, and the challenge will be: can you paint what you see?
Yeah. Now, will you use that same piece of canvas there? Or?
Oh yeah. That's the whole point. Is that I'm going to, because oil paint will hold up to anything like this. I'll get an oil painting out of it, and maybe put that on an auction at some point or other.
If you do, let me know, because I'm really digging that piece.
Sure. Yeah, it's you could and this is something that I plan to do. And here he is. Finally got his device added.
Yes.
There he is. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey, Scott.
Pretty good. I'm having technical difficulties.
Well, it's only 7:03. We started early, but
my phone won't connect for some reason, so I'm on my iPad, which sucks because I don't have a spot. I have to hold my iPad. But I think it's something with my phone.
Well, this. I was telling James that my good mic is glitching on me, so I'm using the mic that's built into this dumb camera, and it's only as good as it is. I guess it's all right. Be nice to be using the best. I looked up webcams that can zoom in and do stuff. Typically they go for about $600. I'm not that in love with the idea of streaming that I'm going to be laying that much money out.
Yeah.
I'd buy my iPad Pro before I'd buy that.
It's a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah.
Scott, you see Ellis's painting that he's working on? It's a oil painting.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Let me see now. You've seen that. Let's see if I can share my screen and show you what it looks like, or share a web page or something like that.
I'm watching it. I have a TV above my desk, so I'm watching it on the TV.
Oh,
but
cool.
I couldn't get. I'm trying to get my phone. I restarted my phone. For some reason, it wouldn't let me access the microphone on my phone. So I had to connect on my iPad, but I can't draw when I'm holding my iPad, so it's not as convenient.
No, that won't work.
Try and connect. I'm gonna see. I restarted my phone, and I got a new battery in my phone last week.
I have Studio Envy.
What?
Studio. I have Studio Envy.
Oh, Studio Envy. Yeah.
Oh, mine's a mess, and it's mine's trash.
My studio's a wreck. I don't dare turn my
crap.
camera around.
If yours,
I'm going to sign on. Okay, hang on. I'm going to leave, but I'm going to connect with my phone. Okay.
Okay.
So add me here in a second. Okay, Ellis.
All right. Yeah. I'll keep an eyeball peeled for you.
Yeah, I would kill for a studio like that. Mine's just I have an architect table that I never use, and the rest of it's trash in here that I just need to start cleaning out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I saw. There we go. I can't at the same time share a screen with actually monitoring that. Can you see that?
Yeah. It looks great.
Oh, okay. You can see the painting the way I revised it. Or not?
Oh yeah, I told the way the arms out there. And everything.
See how I changed, and of course this is all digital revision.
Yeah, but it looks like oils.
Yeah. It's because there's just enough remnant left behind that. And you're right. I use the pencil, which oils can very much resemble pastels fairly often. You know, the way they grab the tooth of the canvas and the stuff you've got on the canvas. But anyway, I forgot I revised the hips to properly frame him up, which is got rid of all those tangents. Just said, hey, he's a robot. I'm gonna splay his hips way out there. So yeah, that'll be fun to take on. Okay.
That's an amazing piece. What does he have in his hand again? What is that, like a?
It's supposed to be a Tommy gun. I'm supposed to maybe think
Oh,
about
I
a better.
see. Okay, no, I know. I see it. I see it.
Better silhouette, maybe.
It's a. I
Thompson
wish
with
I could draw it to that perspective.
Thompson with a drum magazine.
Yeah. Wow, that looks like a 50s movie poster. That thing is awesome. You must make prints of that for sure.
Well, I don't know. Let's see now. What have I got to do to get back to normal? Stop screen. There we go. Good, simple. There we go. Add to stream. Now we get Scott back. Hey, Scott, are you back? Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that painting looks great, Ellis.
Thanks. Let me see.
What are you
guys vote. What is the best way? It looks like the best way in terms of like us sharing screen time is this way. What do you think? This triple vertical.
Either one of those works for me.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be the best way.
I'm good.
Me too.
I'm drawing Miyazaki's robot. Someone made a good point saying that it looked like Fleischer Studios robots, and I know exactly which one he's talking about in Superman, and I've no doubt that Miyazaki was channeling that Fleischer robot.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you doing that for the thing tonight? Drawn and quartered?
Yeah, drawn and quartered. They're doing Studio Ghibli.
What do you think you'll ask for that piece, Ellis, when it's done?
Oh, the oil painting. I'm unclear what to ask for something. By the time that thing has sat around, I bet you it's sat around for 2 years, and I actually had hours and hours I spent looking for it because I got so disgusted seeing it, saying that's the last draw. And I hit it. I said, I'm not even going to accidentally encounter this thing. And so I tucked it away somewhere. And then I had to go re-find it, almost like, it was really annoying because I didn't really have it incognito for that long. It was like all of a sudden, now I need it.
That's how it is.
Yeah. I just made the resolution that I'm doing these little thumbnails and I'm getting them too human.
How's the comic going, Scott?
This is the last page of pencil right here.
All right.
So after I do this, I got these pages to ink. I did this. I'll hold this up. I don't know if you can see all this. I did that last night.
Wow.
Cool.
And so this, I want to show that I like this gag. So this is the
there we go.
17. And
nice.
So the whole thing is the angels are at this camp, and it's kind of a kind of a take of the horror camp kind of movies. And so they're at this camp. It's Camp Clamshell, and all chaos breaks loose. At one point, this big demon woman burst out of the water, out of the lake, and so this all breaks loose, and of course the sign ends up saying Camp Hell at the end, and all this kind of stuff. And so then this is the next to last page where they're talking about what are we going to do about the demon in the lake, and so she's got one of the characters has this big bomb that I've named. She drops the bomb, and so this big demon kaiju beast flies through the air and gets punctured on the steeple on the church there in the campgrounds.
Wow,
very cool.
Last page. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to draw a panel of one of the angels stuffing a lit stick of dynamite in one of the demon's mouths. so so you never know what you'll have to draw.
Now, has the writer gotten issue 4 done yet, or is that still a
No,
process?
in fact, when I finish this page, I'm going to email him, and he told me he's got a couple things he's working on, and he'll be done. He'll have 4. He's got notes on 4. I know what 4. I know what's going to happen. 4 is the big. It's a car chase, a big like a race, a car race. The thing is the angels or heroes are working for these demons. They kind of signed a contract, and so to get out of it, they're gonna enter this car race, this cross country car race, kind of like a Cannonball Run, because the whole comic is kind of echoes of kind of 70s, just pop kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fourth issue is the Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit kind of issue. It should be pretty fun. I'm not looking forward to drawing all those cars necessarily, but you know.
Well, you ought to do what is that free 3D program that
I
has
was
all?
say I'm not building 3D models.
Yeah.
No,
Drop them in.
Well,
not drop them in, but at least have them for easy light tabling.
oh, I probably got 1,000 Hot Wheels in my studio. I'll find some appropriate Hot Wheels.
Okay.
And I mean, I may photograph them and trace them or whatever, but I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll have to see. I'll see what's appropriate to the script. You know, but it should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to having it done. It's
Is that an ash can?
Oh yeah, this is an ash can of the first issue that I did.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
How many did you do?
I did 15. This is 15 of 15. I've given out the other 14. I hung on to this one because I use it as reference for what character models and stuff. I haven't drawn this demon chick right here in a while, and in this issue she gets her head cut off. She's gotten her head cut off in every issue.
This is my kind of book.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Well, I'll show you one of my favorite panels. This is my favorite panel right here. So this.
Oh, you know what? I've left it all on you. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I got the camera aimed right, but this is issue 1. She's running through the city, and the city's been overtaken by zombies, and so she cut the head off the demon, and so she's got it tied to her belt, and so she's running through town, and so she jumps on this speed limit sign, and bends it over, and so she's like hacking off the zombies' heads with the speed limit sign.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I like that sequence. My drawing's gotten better since then, but I still like that sequence. Anyway, that's Heaven's Rejects.
Heaven's Rejects. Exit solo layout. Well, that's good. Anybody wants to have me show something off, all I have to do is right click. I just learned something. Nick,
there you go.
Right click on top of your screen, and I can go into solo layout.
Cool.
So, how was jury duty?
Oh, we haven't talked since jury duty, have we? Dude, we put a guy away for life without parole.
Wow.
He had, I was on a murder trial.
That's crazy.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, crazy.
There were several times where I was sitting in the jury box. Well, first off, I got picked in Oklahoma or Oklahoma County. You go into a big room and then you get sent to a case. If you're picked, you go to a case and then you go to a courtroom and then they might pick you for the jury. I was about the 10th person to get picked for a case, and in that case, I was the 6th person to get picked. And it was a murder trial, and the guy stabbed somebody 7 times,
Wow.
and there was no doubt. It took us about 30 seconds to deliberate, and we could have given him the DA was going for life with the possibility of parole, or life without parole, and we gave him life without parole. In fact, I think the guy got sentenced today. I think either today or tomorrow. Yeah, today's the 8th. Yeah, it was today.
Ooh,
We recommend, and after talking to the judge, I think he's going to get. I think she's going to give him what we recommended.
Yeah, I mean, you can't accidentally stab somebody 7 times.
well, yeah, Scott.
Well, that he was his only defense was he claimed that he was on drugs. He claimed he had taken some acid, and there was no proof of it, you know. And it was sad because there was a lot of sad. The victim's mom testified, and you know, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, but we did the right thing. I feel like so. You know. Yeah, it was still, man.
Oops, sorry. Probably sounded pretty loud. Dropping my pencil on this sounding board here.
Oh yeah. So Ellis, what'd you do today?
I did a couple things. I was mentioning, or I wrote an email to my aunt about this guy at the park I go to walk, and the guy is the early wine, and this guy I see all the time there is like one of these guys that's obviously a marathon runner type, and he's just skin and bones, got no fat on him, and he's like about 50. And he gets down to practically his skivvies, even in pretty cold weather, and gets out there and runs. Yeah, he'll run about 5 miles to my 1.5, or no telling how much he decides his daily run ought to be. You know, it's at least 5 miles. I know of, doing my math of seeing him 4 times, typically on my 1.5 mile walk. And but I saw that he was injured, because here he comes, you know, just practically naked, coming toward me, and he's just barely able to pick up and move, you know. And it's like he's out there in the classic runner's thing of thinking you should run through the pain, you know. But you know, there's certain kinds of pain you don't run through. No telling what he's trying to ignore and run on top of it. And I've done that before, you know, running when I practically had pneumonia or something like that, saying, get out there, wimp, get it done, and then and then get sicker. But that sort of thing.
Ellis, you're breaking up.
Am I? I think we're all breaking up, because I think you were breaking up a minute ago. Did you? Am I still breaking up? Testing.
Not to me.
Okay.
Can you hear him fine, James?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hearing you break up, Scott, so that makes me
fine.
think your feed might be
my connection.
flawed. Yeah.
So Ellis, did you step in dog poop? Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's, and I had on a pair of shower slippers too, so it wasn't fun. So yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to kill some of my internet stuff here.
Okay.
See if that helps me. I may be sucking too much Wi-Fi.
That could happen. What little I know about Wi-Fi. Have you seen this? I don't know if you're on Twitter at all right now, but Paul Klugman, I think that's his name, or is it Krugman? I think it's Klugman. No, it's Krugman. he's warning the world that he's apparently been hacked and someone has been using his what do you call it? Your not your ISP. Yeah, I could hear him. Scott is skipping. Yeah. John Dabney just said that. Oh, anyway, I'm going to drop that theme. It was, it's pointless. It'll all play out. He was just saying that he's got to warn everybody, child porn has been used with his identity or something. You know, but everybody's just marveling at it saying, why in the world would you try to get ahead of this like this? You keep that under your hat for as long as you possibly can. It was kind of like that guy with the very famous guy, maybe the same guy that had the tentacle porn controversy that I recall. I forget who he was.
Must have been Japanese porn.
Yeah, exactly. He had downloads and he said something that, struck me as kind of plausible, but the deal was it was over the moment it got in the wild like that for whatever legit reason he may have had for surfing onto it, it was, it was always going to be something someone would mention it and make a joke out of.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, how you doing? Say something.
Do what?
Oh, I was wondering if you're still breaking up. Go ahead and do us a big tip. Or tell us a story.
It's a little better.
Yeah, I think it may be
It
still.
must be my Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm sort of following along.
Okay.
Am I picking up?
Well, yeah. You, John Dabney, who's in the chat, we need to get him on. Hey, John, are you set up to where you can podcast and do stuff like this? I'll get a reply from him ultimately.
Yeah, the delay would be a while. Might be by the end of the show, but he'll get it.
What else did I do? Oh yeah, I got stuff that arrived, and so I got the Prime stuff that arrived. I've got a new wall mount that I have to use now, where I'm going to put the TV in the bedroom on one of those wall mounts, and change some big floor plan stuff around here, so I could just start anew kind of. It's early spring cleaning. We're having great weather here. How is it where you're at, James?
It is terrible.
That's what I thought. See, we're having one of the best winters I can remember in a long time for Oklahoma.
It's not good here.
I'm going to try and reconnect, see if that makes a difference.
Okay, well, I didn't notice you breaking up or anything. Yeah, we're using StreamYard. John, have you been on StreamYard before? I could add you tonight. You want the link? Here, I'll do something real dumb and add it to the public thing. That'd be dumb. Everybody, I'd have 50. No, I wouldn't either because this doesn't get that big a draw.
I was going to say, I'm jealous. If you could,
yeah. I wouldn't get 50 of anything.
I wouldn't get 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, John. You'd have to, I guess, download it and get over your paranoia about letting them have your information, things like that. I'm still not over it. I think it'll bite all of us eventually. Being on StreamYard, they'll call it the StreamYard event, where we all shared our info with them, and it went to whatever. That's what I figure happened to this Paul Krugman. I imagine he just was on someone fished him, and he panicked and went live with someone saying, "I've got child porn here or there," or whatever. And it's probably someone says, "You have child porn," and must have come from something he trusted or something. And then he's saying, "I got to get somebody to look into this." And we were talking about Lolita the last time Scott and I were on. I better get off this subject. What I'd better do.
Oh, I love Lolita. Though. That's a great flick. You
It
talking
is a
about the
great
movie
flick.
or the book?
Both. Both. I listened to the Jeremy Irons audio version of that. God, I have such an appreciation for Nabokov, how he, because he's laying it between the lines. This poor sick guy, Humbert, or what I think that's his name. He thinks he's the sanest person in the world. Of course,
Yeah.
he's that classic example of the villain. Thinks he's right.
Right.
And so it's funny to realize how self-destructive the dummy is, and his lust for what he calls, I think he calls them the Moppets or something. No, it's different than that. Nymphets, I think.
That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah, and so he's got his own little term for him, and the way he explains it, it's like he just wants to say, you know what I'm talking about, and on a very coarse kind of level, we all do. I mean, we all have a blooming of sexuality that is we experienced when we were in junior high, where if you got completely fixated when you were having your most intense early sexual whatever, you might say, I need to go back to that. No, you better not. So, if that's your strongest memory of sex is when you remember girls being interesting. But,
how do you think it compares to the movie, though?
What, the book? Oh, the book
Yeah, I mean,
is,
do you
the
think-
book is deserved. Oh, and speaking of Kubrick being attracted to masterpieces of writing, I just got done an hour ago reading Dream Story, which is what Eyes Wide Shut is based on. And
Wow.
it's all there. It's amazing. Well, Sidney Pollack's role is all tacked on, but it's, and of course, he's in a lot of it. Hey, Scott, now we can't even hear you. What are you up to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
you're there.
I'm here. I'm just drawing.
Are you tired of us talking about teenage girls?
Yeah, I ought to get off of it. I'm off of it right now. I'm done.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in on that conversation.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
You don't want to be on the jury against me and Ellis?
Yeah.
You're going to have jury duty again, Scott.
Yeah.
I don't know how it ended up on my hard drive. I just,
Yeah.
it was tentacle porn, I swear.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, you'd wish somebody would.
Booted because of offenses.
Well, if it was my channel, we would never get booted because no one ever watches it. But this show actually has viewers. So.
Well, I wonder about that. I think when you show up, we get about twice as many people. So you're dragging somebody along with you.
Dragon is the key word, I think. Against their will.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that you knew the name for Eyes Wide Shut. What was the name for AI? Wasn't it called something like Even Super Toys Run Out of Batteries? Or I know there was
even Super Toys. I'll look that up. AI's. That was by the guy that wrote Crash, wasn't it?
Yeah.
AI, Kubrick. Even though it wasn't Kubrick, so at least get me there. Wikipedia, AI, American Science Fiction. Let me look under Wikipedia real quick. Oh, here we go. Super toys last all summer long. So yeah, your super toy reach was right on spot.
It's a good title.
Yeah. And I've read it. It's a pretty short story, actually.
Is it sad?
Yeah, it's sad, kind of. Hey, you got to wonder what Kubrick would have done with that. And, this dream story is 97 pages of not particularly densely packed text. So, in other words, it's take you about as long to read it as a Doc Savage novel.
Yeah.
It's a very short little book. I guess it probably would be called a novelette.
Since Kubrick didn't edit it, do you consider that?
Did he not edit it?
I heard that he didn't. There's a guy. There was a documentary I saw called S. and Stanley or something like that.
Film worker.
Yeah, film worker, and he supervised the edits after Stanley had passed, thinking that you would know what he would have. Yeah,
I saw the same. Saw the same documentary, but I didn't. I guess, I saw it in pieces. I gave it a say. I'll have to catch up with the rest of this, and that probably occurred in the first 20 minutes or something. Yeah. And by the time I got back to it, and it is an excellent doc. I love that film because he's such an unusual guy. It takes all kinds, as they say.
Yeah, gave everything up just to be a helper. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Or what we would consider weird. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, because everybody's got usually the normal drive to have a career that is theirs, And he was
there to serve.
Huh?
He was there to serve.
Exactly, and another thing that makes him unusual is it's not like he was taking on a job that was easy.
Yeah.
He was working with a perfectionist that was going to make big demands on what he could do and how much time he had and everything else.
Hey Scott, are you choosing the next movie? I've been listening to all the podcasts for the.
Oh, you've been listening to us on our movie picks, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I love the show. I'm hooked now.
Excellent. What'd you think of Tora Tora? Did you hear that one?
I did.
What?
I don't remember you guys mentioning that Kurosawa almost directed all the Japanese parts.
That's no, Kurosawa didn't. Well, maybe Kurosawa was in line to do it. But
yeah, he was in line, and he didn't. But something happened.
He didn't do it. Well, Toshiro Mifune was hired and got fired.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mifune was actually very actively involved in. I think was given. That's why I'm saying the director's hat. I think was given to him for some Japanese, or he had some sort of strictly Japanese role in the movie, but he tried to get some graft out of it by casting guys that were very prominent and stuff like that. They had nothing to do with trying to make a quality movie. They were just guys that were scratch your back, I'll scratch yours, kind of getting ahead kind of stuff.
So who has the next pick?
I think Dave does, and he begged off on picking. Right, Scott?
No. He picked. What did we see the other day?
We saw the Ipcris File.
Oh, that was you, wasn't it?
Your new favorite.
Barry's turn then.
Huh? It is Dave's turn, and I don't think he's picked yet.
Which, if I remember correctly,
he hadn't picked it, or he hadn't announced it.
Scott decided to pick up the Iger sanction because he thought that was going to be the movie. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
And I watched that movie and it was terrible.
It wasn't that bad a movie.
Well, it wasn't terrible.
Didn't that have Kennedy in it? George Kennedy?
Yes. Yeah. It's got that one scene that I imagine Eastwood walks up to the void, just walking up like he's just going out for a stroll, and then plops his butt down with his six-pack of Olympia beer next to him like it was nothing. And then George, what's his name, comes crawdadding up like that's the only way you could get him to get next to that edge. It's like that made me laugh, and I bet I bet it took a lot to talk George into to get to do that scene. There is something about, I don't know about you guys. I look out over a great height where instant death if you slipped. It's like it almost seems to tug at you, you know.
Oh
You look,
yeah.
yeah, it's like that if you're gone, you're gone. If it has its way and you stumble or whatever, you're going. And there's an extra bit of attraction almost seems to start to occur.
Yeah, I've
I
had that
haven't.
going where I'm like, I'm going to jump. Am I going to jump here?
Yeah. You get that weird feeling. Have you seen any interesting horror? I saw In the Tall Grass. Have you seen that yet on Netflix or anything?
I have not. I have not.
I can kind of recommend it
Okay.
because it's intriguing enough. Because I thought to myself, no, how are they going to plausibly say these guys are just stepping off into this grass and getting instantly marooned out there? But it's instantly supernatural, so that's cool. And I guess Joe Hill is his boy, isn't it?
Stephen King's, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, they apparently wrote the book, but didn't do the screenplay.
It kills me though. I mean, I could be totally wrong about this, but Joe Hill, he made it a point not to use his dad's name, to the point that I knew who he was because he talked so much about not using his dad's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to use my dad's name, and it's like, well, who's his dad? And then
what was
it's like Coppola. It's Nicolas Cage,
What was the one that King wrote The Long Walk on with Bachman? Is that it? Something like that.
Oh, Richard Bachman.
Yeah.
It's his secret identity, I guess. His surname.
So he could write more. Poor writers that are saying, man, I got to get over this slump I'm in. Stephen King is out there writing a steady, 10 pages a day or something like that, at least. Not more. I imagine at that point he's going to be like Doug is. It's like he's just got to set quota for the day, does it, and it's like he's gone to work for the day.
Yeah.
Punches
Man,
the
he
clock.
had a real long stream today. Doug did. I think it was almost 5 hours.
Really? He
Yeah.
he must have been up against something, wanted to get free to do something or something like that, because he usually, unless he just had a real challenging page to do or something.
Scott's quiet. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, we're hoping. Scott.
Well, I'm still skipping, so
That's all right.
Oh, you sound good to me.
Yeah, you sound all right.
do what?
You sound all right.
Oh yeah, I think it's on my end. I don't know what it is.
No, you sound fine now. So now you sound like you're Skippy to your ear, huh?
Well, I wonder. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna run downstairs. I'm gonna see if I can turn off everything that's connected to the Wi-Fi.
Really?
I'll be back in a second.
Okay. This is where Scott says, I cursed the day I got on that podcast where I turned everything off and never figured out how to do it again.
So you're 8 pages in the coin toss?
Yeah, I am. 8 pages in. Boy, you've got a good memory for stuff you've just barely brushed up against, I bet. Unless you got a good memory for our dumb podcast here. I guess that's where I mentioned that stuff.
Yeah, I'm a stalker, damn it.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited about it.
I am too, in a way, but I'm going to completely throw out the style I've done this particular script in and move toward a style that I really like that I've done before, kind of trying to ape it, which is the guy that does oh, the guy that died, Darwin Cook. Darwin Cook's style for the Parker things. I really dig what he gets up to in terms of like a quick read, and I'm gonna try to do that with the next one. I've got way too many textures and stuff like that. Way too many tones and things.
Well, you can tell your background's in animation, though. Look at all those different poses that you have going on there.
Oh, my back. Oh, yeah. This is
me?
No, I guess he's talking about my filled up sheet of all the Lapada robots. I'm just trying to get familiar. It's not too hard. Obviously, it's not hard because animators had to cope with it. So it's like just get the notion of the big shapes of it. And that's all it is big shapes, you know?
Yeah.
So you just got to get, like I've got a pose here where he's like almost like running. Well, he never runs. He's not in a hurry. He never gets in a hurry. He's got his jet packs that thrust him here and there, and that's how he gets somewhere he wants to go quickly. The rest of the time, he's just moseying.
Scott, have you ever thought about doing your own thing after this Heaven's Rejects thing? Maybe writing and drawing your own thing?
I've thought about a few things, but nothing that's been published.
I'm gonna run get some coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I think that would be cool.
The big appeal to me, or the thing about this is this project pretty much came with a publisher attached to it because the writer, and
nice.
You know, I met the publisher at New York Comic Con when I showed my comic to him. I'd done a anthology comic, and I was kind of walking around talking to publishers, just trying to find some work. And so I talked to the guy, and he said, "Well, what you need is you need to find a writer that's kind of at the right level, experience level. You know, kind of writers kind of that. You know, I've done a bunch of stuff, but it everything I work on, it seems like it never gets published." He said, "Well, you know, you're working with people that are like you, trying to get published. You need to find somebody that's got a little bit of a track record." And out of the course of talking to him, he hooked me up with the current writer for this, which is a guy named Greg Wright, and I've been pretty happy with it. And of course, what the publisher said, you know, I'll publish this guy sells so well for me that I'll publish anything that he puts out. So,
wow,
you know, I mean, you can't do that. Yeah, I mean,
no way.
And you know, so I mean, and the publisher at New York Comic Con this year said, "Hey, you know, we're all, you know, finish the book and we'll publish it." You know, so and I went to the publisher's booth, and it's a small publisher, so it's a company called Source Point Press is who put it out.
Okay.
You know, barring some unforeseen circumstances, and you know, everybody went by the booth, and everybody was like, "Oh man, we're ready for you to finish the book, and we'll get you on the road promoting it and all this stuff." So, you know,
awesome.
I just got to get it. Last page or issue 3 right here.
So we're watching history happen right here in the making.
Well, I don't went that far. I still have to ink them, so I'll probably be inking next week. But
inking, I was thinking about dodging inking myself tonight. I was thinking about doing all pencils, but I think I'd automatically disqualify myself if I don't attempt to do some inking.
Are you going to be on Drawn and Quartered?
Yeah, supposedly that's why I'm warming up on this robot.
All right, I'm gonna have to check it out. Scott, you should go on there.
Well, it's kind of invite only, and
I see.
I'd have to introduce Scott. That's all it would take. If Scott wants me to let him go wide like that, I'll do it. I mean, I'll give you the. it's kind of like Scott belongs there more than I do. He's a guy that actually does good in the church and stays involved and helps people that need it and all that. He'd be much more appropriate for. There's good Christians and there's Christians that aren't working very hard at it. And
wait, what are you talking about? You dropped out. What are you talking about me?
I was talking about you, but you're the one dropping out. I guess I just said that you're much more involved in your church. I don't go to church, you know. So it's like you would be very welcome in that context there of Mike and Edwin and several. I think all of them. I think everybody on Drawn and Quartered typically professes to be Christian. I think.
Oh yeah, well, Doug and I have a connection because he also, as I understand it, I went to a Nazareth college.
That's right. Also. That's right. That's quite a connection. Yeah.
So we have a bit of a connection there.
Yep. some of Doug's anecdotes about Nazarene College are pretty funny. When he was a kid. I wish I could remember one.
My problem is I got a lot of stuff.
The only little extra bit of detail he has to imagine the animators really got tired of drawing the little prongs on the outside of his arms, but that gives him the unique profile he's got. Yeah, I did a recent. I think you made a comment. You asked me if that was for InWorld. What do you think? You think I'm ever going to get bit by that, James? By showing off my finished pieces for InWorld without even worrying about whether they'd object to it or not? I haven't ever looked at the contract closely enough to know that anything other than they intend to pay me, at a certain time.
I don't know. No, but I got fired.
You got fired? What happened? Why did you get fired from working for InWorld? Really? I didn't get fired. I quit. That's what you should say. You say, you can't fire me. I quit.
They don't want me back, so.
What, you added too many boobs or something, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? I said,
well, no, but I thought I changed it to their liking, but I guess it didn't change it enough. And I even pleaded with I believe his name's Mike. I can't remember.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
I pleaded with Mike, and he's like, you know what? I just don't think it's gonna work. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. I said, I'll do one for free. This is when you're not wanted. And he's like, you know what? I'll pass. And I'm like,
wow.
Yikes! Wow. I have burnt a serious bridge here.
No, well, I mean, it's like that is interesting, though. I say no, that's interesting, though. But you can not even be aware of, like, my God, look at this. He's revealed himself. That sort of thing can go on when somebody else's mind. You think it's just business as usual or something like that, And I think your that story you shared with me. By the way, I had a lot of work to do to stack that to where it could be read. I had to copy it and then put it into an RTF format to where I could read it.
Yeah, well, that's not my strong point is comic book scripts. Just so you know.
Well, that's the deal. I had it also. I read it and listened to it simultaneously. That's why I chose RTF, so it could speak to me at the same time I was following along. And of course, when I hit a format of note where you'd say, "Take as many frames as you want," that makes it. That makes it. And you say that quite a few times. So that was a regular skip to the reading of it,
Well, see, it was originally laid out that I was talking to the artist every day, so I could sort of do it just
Right.
vaguely any way I wanted, and they knew what I was talking about. So it didn't have to be. It wasn't like
And scripts can be like that. Scripts can be
Yeah.
like that if you're working with someone that gets you and all that, or if you're if you're a Kirby working with Stan Lee, it's like
yeah.
Stan Lee gives you just the drift, and then Kirby lets his id go to work on it. You guys want to see me whole screen share it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Solo layout.
Oh my god.
Do a few robots.
I like that
work.
page of robots, Ellis.
That's my robots. Have you seen Lapada, Scott? It's got this, this great robot design. The first time we see it, it looks like the soul of benign, passive, beautiful Zen master kind of thing, where he's a robot that's all grown up with greenery on top of him that all the animals love, and they skitter around him and everything. And he picks a little flower and gives it to the princess. And hey, Doug to Naples lurking. I wonder if Doug is surely tired of being in public. Doug, you want me to send you a link? I'll get you guys on. Talk about paying the price. I'll send you. I'll put you among Doug.
I don't know how he's still awake after that stream.
I know it.
Streaming like a maniac.
Let's get him to talk to us about it. He can dodge right back out. I'll send him the link. The same link I sent you, James. I'll introduce everybody. As soon as I copy link and go to a message where Doug has sent me links, making me guilty about not showing up. There we go. That is waiting for Doug. He wants to show up. Thanks, Doug, for loving the thumbnails. John Dabney needs to get on here sometime. He can update us. John, by the way, James, has got this wild project that he's trying to turn it into a life's work or something, though. It's like one of those things where he's just so...
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And it's... what does it most remind you of, Scott? It's got a lot of mythology to it it feels very Mideastern to me, He's got like...
Yeah.
What do you call
Sounds
that?
cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And he's got his very cool mythos worked out for it.
Like
That world building stuff, not everybody can do it.
Like Joseph Campbell style mythos, or
No, it's more like sort of stuff that went on with I've got something on the tip of my head. That's a bad way to say it. Tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. That it reminds me of. That I'm sure John would have to get us on and tell us what he's influenced by, but it's.
Oh, I haven't even looked at the live chats. I see. Yeah, there's people in here. Wow.
Yeah. Getting to where I can draw that particular robot. Well, Doug hasn't responded. He'll show up if he responds, I guess. That'll be how we know he decides to visit. And we're already on how many minutes? We're on We have been at it for an hour and 9 minutes. And of course, at 9 o'clock, I have to switch and go to the other.
Well, you're going to be warmed up.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
I hate this in this quiet. I feel like I hope I haven't disrupted the apple cart here.
Well, you know how conversation is or isn't. It's like two people probably jazz a conversation up more, or rather, well, not jazz it up, just so everyone knows that they have to keep up their end, Or you may be like me. You may. I was talking about being on Doug's podcast. Get on a podcast with those identical twins someday. Let me tell you, you'll be dying to get a word in edgewise.
Doug is in the green room.
He is. Where?
That's what he says.
Oh, that he might show up.
Oh,
Oh no, there he is. There he is. Hey, Doug, what's up?
Hey, dummy.
Thanks. Yeah.
Lamont, you big dummy. I've been sitting here for 5 minutes. I'm supposed to go on another show.
No.
I got to go on another show.
Okay, you've been there that long. Okay.
Well,
anyway.
like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I don't want to rip you off or anything. 2 minutes.
Okay, I was going to say.
But I'm just popping in to say hi. I love watching you guys work. It's nice work.
Thanks.
thanks. Hey, Doug, What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, I'll come back on some other time. But Ellis, send me an invite some other time.
I will.
All right. God bless you guys. Have a
What
good
show
night.
are you going on now so everybody will know?
It's a guy. It's a black conservative guy. I forgot his name.
Oh, wow. Man, he must be he must, he'd be aiming to end his life somehow.
We're going to shoot guns. We're going to shoot guns or something. I don't know.
Right.
All right. I got to go.
Okay, we'll see you.
See ya.
Take it easy. Well, that didn't last long.
Want to hear something weird? I was actually starstruck.
Yeah. He's
Pretty cool.
He's a force of nature, I tell you. I wasn't starstruck by him when I first got to know him. I was kind of bugged by him. It's like because we had such a sedate environment at the earliest incarnation of Blue Sky, and then all of a sudden Doug is here, and you got to be around somebody. You aren't around people that are 6'8" on a typical day. And so the first thing you got to do is get over that. He is a giant, and then he's a giant fresh out of school. He's got long hair, and he's got the personality that's going to serve him so well throughout life of being alpha. And it took a while for Meek, give me a cubicle and let me do my job, Ellis, to get over him. Especially because I'm always really suspect where people jump on me real quick with a whole lot of compliments. I ought to take them. But Doug was all over me in terms of like being impressed by what I was up to and all that. And I just said, yeah, I bet you are, I was just dubious of it.
That's cool.
But anyway, I finally didn't take long. Doug wears you down pretty quick. That's the deal. I would love for all these principals to get together that are having all this stupid stuff going on with Comicsgate. It'd be neat to drop them into just all a con at all the same time and put them all on a panel or something somehow. But because it would instantly get 200% more civil, because you just don't do that kind of stuff unless you're, you feel like you're in troll mode, and that's what most of these guys are. They just are doing too much troll kind of personality stuff. Stuff that a person, if they're thinking, unless you think it draws, money to you. If you think, hey, this is where I'm making my cash, I'm going to do this. Personas, basically, you're adopting a persona.
Yeah, it's kind of like professional wrestling almost, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, there's some streamers that do a pretty doggone good Macho Man. Oh
Elliot,
yeah, yeah. He
Elliot
was
Fernandez.
yeah. I think he does one. Yeah.
I have to know. You'd be the only person that actually knows this. Is the story true about you and the pickup truck with Doug?
I think I told the story
Oh,
about.
did you? Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Doug was, that's the deal about getting along with Doug. Is like he'll start feeling you out for stuff like it'll be like, deep personality dives and stuff like that because he wants to know about you, I guess. And I said, no, I'm just gotten to where I just take it as it comes. I don't have any big high low kind of moments like you're talking about. And he says, I don't care. It was basically, I was saying I was kind of apathetic. And he says, well, what about if I start running stop signs on the way to the basketball practice? By golly, he ran probably about 3 stop signs, or at least stop signs versus lights. He didn't run lights. He ran stop signs. And I don't know. I hope he's specially gifted with his peripheral vision because by golly, we ran him. But he got me excited. He proved to me that I was not apathetic. I wanted to live.
I guess it's funny now, but at the time,
yeah, it's funny now. Yeah, that basketball time. That's the deal. That's the main thing we share. We got that goofy time when we were in working for the Sega Genesis era. And that was a pretty cool era.
Sounds like it. But you were way before. You guys were friends way before Earthworm Jim, right?
Well, yeah, that's the deal. See, the story. Oops, Scott bailed again. Scott had a rough one. I'm kind of glad you're here, James. As flaked as Scott has ended up being, it's like at least we had something to show for it. The Blue Sky blew up in ways that are predictable nowadays. I guess it was kind of new at the time because companies being created the way video game companies typically are, of guys that they're just little startups like that.
Yeah.
And there's only a certain elite crew that really brings in the bucks with when you sell yourself. And everybody there, like Doug and a few others that thought they were really well liked and well thought of in the Blue Sky environment, were kind of left out of it. And that immediately caused something that happens a lot in games. Everybody says, where can I get another job? You get pissed off,
Yeah.
And what's funny about that is Doug went to Virgin after that, worked a little bit, of course, on Aladdin, where the exact opposite of your typical passive artist approach to things. Dave Perry held these guys over a barrel because he said, well, if you really want me to finish this game that you need, that I wrote the engine for, or whatever he did, it was just crucial, whatever Perry had done for the game. We will renegotiate how much I get for doing it. And yeah, it's hard to believe, but I guess really probably people admire that when it's like, man, isn't this interesting? He's got us. We got to pay him. And so, and they paid him, and at that point Perry's made, and he's ready to do his breakout game, and or breakout company. And so he's halfway out the door, and Doug really wants to go too, because there's a lot of other people that are part of this breakout. So he gets to go. But then what happens? Over there at Shiny, Dave Perry's new company, they all get burned again. It's like time for a new company. You know? It's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, Perry. And what's funny is here you got this guy that showed you by how he works that he doesn't care to be totally ruthless, and yet everybody jumped aboard. Oh, there's a lot of them, I'm sure, got treated well, but a lot of the guys I knew didn't get treated all that well. Doug, as huge as Earthworm Jim was for them, took peanuts compared to what he probably was owed for it. In terms of like what he could do with it, he didn't have enough ownership to really say, he didn't make. It's like the SpongeBob SquarePants guy. That guy, he didn't make a ton of money. It was ages before he started to really see anything roll in. He was practically dead before then. Come think of it.
Yeah, I mean, he died recently, didn't he?
Yeah, died pretty recently. Hey, Scott, you got anything to tell us?
No, I went and got my headphones. I had an idea that maybe I needed headphones, and that seems to have helped quite a bit.
What you are is in kind of semi-mute form, because that's what happens. You're using that side of your brain that doesn't, you don't want to talk.
I couldn't hear very well.
Okay.
It kept dropping out, and I think it's because I think the iPhone, like when you talk, Ellis, it would think that I was talking, and so it would cut your not on my end. It would cut the speaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think because getting the head, the thought just struck me. I thought, I need to go grab my headphones, and that seems to have made a difference.
Okay, good, cool. I gave James the solo layout. Let's see how long it takes to show up. There it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. Your
That's
watercolor.
cool.
What kind of brush are you using there?
I have no idea.
A big one.
Yeah. Floating those washes. Cool.
So hey, Ellis.
Yeah.
So are you gonna watercolor on the drawn and quartered tonight?
No,
not watercolor,
no.
oil paint.
No.
Oh, okay. You were messing with the oil paints.
Oh,
or is that just an oil paint?
Hey, Dabney, we're going to have him on. Dabney, you're on next time. If you're still there, I'll add a note.
Sure. Add John.
You're on next time. He says he's got kids. Just went to bed.
In 2 weeks, I'll be in New York, so I won't be on in 2 weeks, maybe. 2 weeks from today, we're going to New York.
You love New York. I love it too. I mean, the energy is like nothing else when you get in that town. It's amazing. I love that.
I was telling somebody today, it's like...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like walking onto a movie set.
Yeah.
This is a quick trip. We'll be back on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, guys, I might as well get off now and drink coffee and relax my brain until I have to start on the next thing. So thanks, everybody, for being here.
Yeah,
thanks for
Yeah, go ahead,
Thanks
Scott.
for carrying the water for me, James.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed that Doug was on here for a little bit. That's pretty cool.
Well, we can look forward to that maybe sometime in the future, adding him to it and yakking with him.
That'd be
fun. You probably can understand that I kind of halfway dread it. Okay.
You halfway did what?
I halfway dread it because he'll try to do something that he thinks is funny that I think will scar me for life. Okay, you guys ready?
Oh well.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Okay, bye.
Okay, see you, James.
Bye. See ya.
Okay.